Hi everyone, welcome back to Style by Lauren Ryder. If you are new here, I'm Lauren. I am a fashion lover from Southern California. I especially enjoy putting together outfits using pieces that I found secondhand or thrifted and mixing them with vintage and designer pieces. So I love styling outfits. It's my absolute favorite thing to do. And I have some tips for you today in this video on how to not be overwhelmed when you go to the thrift store. So I myself am a rather newbie when it comes to thrifting. I've actually only been thrifting, I would say, over the last 3 years or so, but I have worked in retail over the last 18 years, and I think I definitely have an eye for trends, an eye for quality pieces, and I love mixing and matching different styles and taking pieces that I find at the thrift store and mixing them into my current wardrobe and making them look more current, especially if it's a vintage piece. I like making sure that it looks modern and up to date. So I'm going to share with you some of my top thrifting tips that I've learned along the way, and hopefully this inspires you to check out your local thrift stores and find pieces that you absolutely love as well. So my first tip is going to be go often. So I've said this in quite a few videos, but you definitely have to be checking your local thrift stores all the time. The inventory is always changing. People are always donating. There are different days too where different color tags are on sale, and you have to check all the time. There are times where I go to the thrift store and I find nothing. I spend a good hour there, and I find absolutely nothing. But then there are also times that I go, and the second I walk in, I see potential in pieces, and I score a bunch of different pieces. But you definitely have to just go often. And some of my favorite stores near me, I love Goodwill, I love Savers. And then if you're into consignment stores as well, Crossroads Trading Company is a store that I've talked about in a previous video, but they do an amazing job of curating current trends, and they also sell designer pieces on consignment. Sorry, that's my son over there on the floor. He likes consignment and thrifting as well. But so check out your local thrift stores and consignment stores often. That I think is my number one tip. Number two, I would say, is when you go to the thrift store, have something in mind that you're looking for. Get inspired. Whether that be, you check Pinterest and you check different mood boards and you check runways and trend reports. Maybe there's a particular trend you're really interested in finding, or there is a particular piece that you're really interested in finding. I find that it really helps you to focus when you go into a thrift store because there is so much inventory. If there's something on your mind that you're looking for and you have an eye out for, it makes it so much easier to not only find that particular piece, but stay on track and, not get overwhelmed or distracted by everything else that's around you. I actually have a running list on my phone too in my notes section of trends or different pieces that I'm constantly looking for. So I kind of can check them off my list once I'm finding them. But I think that having a list and getting inspired is a huge part of thrifting. Whether you're interested in following trends or not, I think when you go to the thrift store, it's such an easy way to try out a new trend because one, it probably isn't going to be that expensive to try. Say you're really interested in, trying leopard print. I'm sure you can find a leopard print top or a leopard print jacket at a thrift store, and it's going to be a whole heck of a lot cheaper there than it is going to be if you go to, a regular department store. So it's fun to try out different trends, and it's fun to be inspired before you hit the thrift stores, and so you know what styles you're actually looking for. I would say, on the other hand, my third tip is going to be have an open mind. So yes, while you may be focused on finding a leopard print jacket or something that's really on trend right now, also go into the store having an open mind. Some of the times where I'm not actually looking for something in particular are the times where I've scored the most amazing items in the thrift store because I'm kind of looking at everything. And that being said, check the men's section, check different size sections. I know they're not always organized by size, so check everything. If you have time, I definitely wouldn't limit yourself to looking in a particular size or just looking at tops or just looking at pants. I would look at everything because you don't know where the hidden gems are. So kind of keep an open mind. Also, I would say don't be afraid to buy an item that is a one of a kind item that you're not going to be able to find anywhere else that may need a little bit of work. It may be missing a button. It may need, your pants may need to be hemmed a little bit. It may need to be cleaned, have a little stain or a spot or something. Don't be afraid to invest either time or a little money in invigorating those clothes that you wouldn't be able to find anywhere else. I would so much rather go to a thrift store and spend money on a 100% silk blouse that may be missing a button and I need to go, move a button up or something like that, than go and spend 5 times as much on a polyester top at a department store. So always, keep an open mind. I wouldn't advise that you should go and, spend a ton of money on dry cleaning, or if something is like beyond repair, if the leather is cracked and faded, then, something like that, I would say, move on to the next and keep an eye out for something else. But don't be afraid to make little adjustments here and there. And it could be with sizing or tailoring. Maybe a jacket needs to be taken in a little bit or a sleeve needs to be taken up. I definitely don't shy away from making little adjustments here and there. Oh, always check the go back rack. So if you are in a thrift store and there's a rack of go backs or there's like a dressing room, I always check the go back rack because that is like a curated selection of pieces that are handpicked by other people that they've tried on, and you can find some really great pieces on the go backs rack. And that goes across all retail stores. I always check go back racks whether I'm shopping at, the mall or shopping at a thrift store. I think that's a great place to find some really special pieces. My next tip is going to be, if you don't have a lot of time to spend at a thrift store, I would have an eye out for particular patterns or prints or colors or textures that you always are interested in. For example, I know right now leopard print and polka dots are really on trend. But for me, I have always loved leopard print. I've always loved polka dots. So those are two prints that I always look for when I go shopping and I'm scanning the racks and scanning the aisles. Those are prints that stand out to me, and I always do a quick look when I am checking the store. Also, be familiar with different brands, know what quality is. So, vintage has really high quality and you can find some great pieces secondhand. Know what brands you like and know that when you are spending money that it's something that's going to last you for a long time. You can find a lot of, Shein pieces, a lot of Forever 21 pieces, Zara pieces at your local thrift store. But, we all know you're going to wash those pieces once and then they're probably going to disintegrate. So look for vintage tags, look for brands that you're interested in, and kind of keep an eye out for quality pieces. I really prefer, real fur pieces secondhand, genuine leather pieces secondhand. I would so much rather spend on genuine leather than, a polyurethane piece that is really, in my opinion, looks pretty cheap and it's not going to last. And I would rather spend money on a genuine quality material piece. Another tip that I have, a lot of thrift stores don't have fitting rooms. So I don't know if it's since the pandemic or, what happened, but I've noticed that a lot of thrift stores like Savers, they don't have fitting rooms. So when I go to my local thrift store to shop, I always wear something pretty basic, a basic layer underneath, like a t-shirt and jeans or a t-shirt and shorts, something really easy that I can try jackets on, I can try pieces on and look in the mirror and see if something's going to work or not, because I do highly advise trying pieces on in the thrift store so if you know the size and the fit is going to work for you. But always have something basic. I know a lot of people recommend wearing like leggings or like, something like that. It's just really easy to take on and off, and you can try on using the mirror that's like the public mirror. Those are going to be my top tips for thrifting. So I hope that this video inspires you to start checking your local thrift stores if you don't go thrifting already. It's so much fun. I definitely love the thrill of the hunt. I think what really inspired me to go thrifting is the fact that you never know what your gem you're going to find. You just have to have an open mind and keep an eye out, and you have no idea. You can find a designer piece, you can find something that you are super excited to wear and to incorporate into your current wardrobe. So I hope this video inspires you to check out your local thrift stores. And thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to this video if you're interested. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you next week.